Hey guys, I'm Law. This is a video of what if Asta had Apocalypse's powers. And yeah, so for some context, Asta would be gaining Apocalypse's powers from both the comic book series and the movie included. These powers include telekinesis, transmutation, telepathy, intelligence, force field creation, biomolecular alteration, energy projection, energy absorption, power augmentations, some matter manipulation, etc., etc. Anyways, I hate long intros. Let's begin. Our story starts off with Asta and Yuna walking with Sister Lily back to the church, each of them carrying a basket full of gnome potatoes. Asta would then look off to the direction of where the capital of the Clover Kingdom was and ask, Sister Lily, how come many of the nobles live in the capital while most of the commoners live in the Forsaken Realm? Sister Lily would then answer that the reason for this is because their society completely depends on magic power, and the more magic power a person has, the more luxuries they have access to. Hell, many of the nobles, because of this, many of the nobles look down on commoners such as us. Ost would ponder about this for a second, and then think to himself what kind of life he and his family would have if they were able to live in the capital. Okay then, I'm gonna do everything I can to make our lives better, even if I have to become the Wizard King to do it, Ost would say. Sister Lily would giggle at this, and tell Asta that maybe once he unlocked his magic power, he can make that a reality. A couple of weeks later, Osman has been training ever since to unlock his magic to get into the Magic Knights and rise up the ranks to earn enough money to bring a better life for his family. As Asta was training inside the Demon Skull, one day he came across a sinkhole that led deeper into the ground like some kind of cave. Asta, letting the curiosity get the better of him, would go inside the sinkhole, further and further inside until he came across what seemed to be a metal door of a structure that was covered in dirt. Asta would try to open the door with as much force as possible, even going as far as to try and kick the door open, but it wouldn't budge, not even one bit. Man, what the hell is this thing made of? Asta would yell in frustration. But Asta would then just decide to leave it at that and continue his training. We time skip to 9 years later, with Asta being 14 years old, and everyone in the church would be finishing their chores until Asta would be coming running at them with blinding speeds, surprising everyone and some onlookers who saw Asta running. Hey guys, guess what? Asta would yell in excitement. What is it, Asta? Nash would ask with a small bit of interest. Asta didn't say anything, but instead he would raise his left hand and it would stretch all the way to the laundry that Sister Lily had just hung. Everyone would be surprised at this, but the strangest thing about it was they couldn't sense magic from it when Asta stretched his hand. Wow, that's wonderful, Asta, you finally got your magic, Sister Lily would say, although she would be confused why she couldn't sense any magic. It's not magic. And you guys haven't seen anything yet. Before they can question what Asta meant by that, Asta turned his right hand into an axe, and while he was doing this, his appearance also changed to that of Yuno's. Again, everyone was flabbergasted, because not only did Asta have his right hand as an axe, he also somehow shapeshifted into that of Yuno's appearance. Wow. So, if it's not magic, what exactly are you doing? Yuno would ask. I call it body alteration. I can manipulate the size and structure of my body however I want. It also lets me transform into other people. Wow, that's amazing, big brother Asta, one of the orphan children would say. Yeah, I have to admit, that's pretty cool. Well, for a guy who has no magic, Nosh would chime in. Weeks later, after Asta got his ability, in his original body, he was exponentially stronger, faster, and more durable than he was in canon. He also grew to be 6 feet tall in just a short amount of time. Asta also discovered some additional powers such as regeneration, healing, and super intelligence, which was insanely helpful as he came up with new ways to use his power to help provide for people in the church. Like during one instance, he went up to the lake, and dived inside the lake, and turned his legs into large fish nets to catch as many fish as possible. Once he was done, he sprouted wings from his back and then flew back to the church, shocking other commoners who were near the lake as they couldn't believe what their eyes were seeing. Asta would then be back at the demon skull, daydreaming about the societal state of the Clover Kingdom. Our society completely runs on magic, making everyone complacent with the current status quo. Yet because of this, we haven't really seen much improvement in society as a whole from the last 500 years. Well, at least to the limited knowledge that I've gathered reading. Hell, if anything, it could be a lot longer than that. Maybe once I become a magic knight, I can do something about that. But I guess taking care of my family is the top priority, Asta would think to himself. Asta would then continue to train, but it became a lot more difficult to actually get stronger, considering he already had amazing strength, stamina, and speed. As Asta was sprinting around, he then saw the sinkhole and thought he could maybe finally open and see whatever is inside. Asta made his way into the sinkhole and was met with the same metal door that didn't look out of place. Asta then made a giant fist and then punched the door so hard it almost broke, and it was sent flying inside the room. Huh. Well, that was easy. Asta would then make his way inside, and although it was dark, he was able to make out what he was seeing. Asta was surprised and wide-eyed on what he saw inside. The interior was way bigger than the church, covered in metal. There were panels with various buttons and screens plastered all over the walls. This is so cool. What is this, some ancient technology? Asta would ask as he went deeper in the room. When he stepped on a platform, it started taking him, it glowed, and took him a few meters down, surprising him. But he quickly calmed down as soon as he saw something inside. It looked like some kind of metal seed with a red ruby in the middle of it. Asta was curious and decided to touch the seed. And when he did, it started fusing with Asta's body. This caused him to panic, and it led to him having excruciating pain all around his body. And then because of this, Asta would soon pass out. 30 minutes later, Asta would wake up breathing heavy, inspecting his surroundings and his body as he was trying to wonder what just happened. Well, that was strange, Asta would say out loud. And then he decided to leave the sinkhole. He noticed it was getting late outside and would start heading back. As he was walking, he felt a phenomenal increase in strength and energy. Another thing he noticed is that his mind felt a lot clearer, and now he possessed new knowledge of different scientific subjects such as aeroengineering, quantum physics, advanced level of human anatomy, biochemistry, and advanced level mathematics, and some other subjects that he was trying to process. Asta was insanely surprised with this new set of knowledge, and he thought he was going to pass out with the sheer amount of knowledge he possessed. Asta would decide to question it tomorrow, and he continued to head back to the church. As Asta made his way back to the church, he ate dinner with his family, and they all went to sleep. It was the next day, and Asta was chopping wood, as he discovered he could move objects with his mind. As when he was chopping wood, he accidentally chopped it too hard, which led the wood to ricochet off the axe, and it almost hit Father Orsi, but Asta put his hand forward to stop the wood mid-air, and was completely surprised by this. As 2 weeks would go by, Asta would unlock more abilities, such as he can shoot blasts of energy from his hands and eyes, he can read minds, in which he had telepathy, he can create force field, he can teleport to different places, but his favorite ability was transmutation. The reason transmutation was Asta's favorite ability because it allowed him to transform any object into a completely different property, which gave him a chance to test his knowledge and invent whatever he wanted. "Hey guys, come check this out," Asta would yell, floating down with a small metallic box that was very wide. "So what is it this time? You unlocked another power?" Una would ask. "Nope, I just created something that would make our lives a whole lot easier," Asta said as he levitated the wet clothes hanging from the line, and he put them inside the metal box, shutting the lid closed and pressing the button. Oh Christ, water break. Christ. Everyone was confused by this, but continued watching. After 3 minutes of the machine making noise, it stopped with Asta taking out the clothes, with them being all dry and toasty. Everyone was amazed by this and wondered how Asta got such a device. Wow, Asta, where'd you get a magic item? Sister Lily would ask. It's not a magic item. It doesn't run on magic. I'm the one who created it. Asta said, surprising everyone with this revolution. Damn, Asta, I knew you were smart despite... Damn, I knew Asta was smart despite his personality, but I didn't think he was smart enough to do something like this without magic. Yuno would think to himself, proud of his brother's achievement. Hey, Asta, let's spar together. Sure. Both would go deep into the forest to spar. Ever since Asta got his new powers, he would constantly win against Yuno with his spars, mostly using his physical attributes, but Yuno was also getting stronger each time they did spar. The spar would be going on, but Yuno would unfortunately lose, with Asta standing over him as Yuno lied face down. I mean, not face down, he would lie on his back. Damn, Yuno, you've gotten stronger, Asta would say as Yuno was lying face down exhausted from his spar. Yeah, but I still can't beat you, Yuno would sigh heavy. So Asta, you sure you don't want to join the Magic Knights anymore? Absolutely, Yuno. I know what I'm gonna do here in Hodge Village, and when you get back, what you'll see will completely knock your socks off. Can't wait to see what you do in the future. And I can't wait to see you become Wizard King, Asta would say, giving Yuno a fist bump. By the way, Yuno, speaking of Wizard King and strength, I think I can help you get stronger. Yuno looked confused by this, with Asta getting closer and tapping him on the head. Yuno felt some pain around his body, but then after a couple of seconds, he was bursting with mana. That was almost unbelievable, that it didn't feel like the same Yuno. What did you do, Asta? Oh, I helped you unlock your potential. Now you can get stronger, the more we train. If Yuno wasn't flabbergasted, he was now. But because of this, he just smiled and and this was practically a normal reaction now, as Asta would do insane things ever since he got his powers. After all, with this new power, he's gonna need as much strength as possible to become Wizard King. We didn't time to skip to the Grimoire ceremony, with everyone from the church excited to see what kind of grimoire both Asta and Yuno would get, even though Asta didn't have any magic. They made their way inside the Grimoire Tower, seeing both commoners and a few nobles, with the nobles obviously going to show off the grimoires and looking down on the commoners. The old mage at the Grimoire Tower came hovering down to welcome everyone in the tower, hoping for one of them to become a magic knight, with everyone cheering. The grimoires in the shelf would then start glowing and levitate towards their owners. Everyone will get a grimoire, except for our favorite Ash Blonde protagonist, Asta. This will make all nobles and commoners laugh at him, with Asta quickly shutting them up with a nasty glare. Well, I guess it shouldn't be expected. I mean, I don't have magic after all. Asta thought to himself, despite Asta not needing magic, having a grimoire would essentially classify him as an adult in the Clover Kingdom. But then a bright golden light would shine in the Grimoire Tower, and it would be a 4-leaf grimoire landing in Yuno's hands. I'm going to become the Wizard King, Yuno would say with most of the commoners cheering and many of the nobles looking on at him with jealousy. Asta and Yuno would soon leave the Grimoire Tower, with both of them heading back to the church. That is when they were alone. They were both approached by two nobles who were at the Grimoire Tower, with both hostile intent in them. A filthy commoner like you shouldn't have such a grimoire. We were supposed to be the stars of the show, one of the nobles would say. Both Asta and Yuna would look at them with a mix of deadpan and annoyed expressions. That's not my problem, Yuna would say. This would get the commoners mad, and they would fire both water and fire magic at Yuna. However, a vortex would soon surround Yuna and Asta, and they noticed that Yuna didn't even have his grimoire open, and that he was the one who created the magic. Both of them would try to attack Yuno again. However, they were knocked out by some chains that seemed to have come out of nowhere. Revchi, the chain mage, would reveal himself and try to steal Yuno's four-leaf grimoire. Revchi would try to catch Yuno off guard by sending chains from the ground. However, Yuno was a lot faster and easily dodged the chains, appearing right in front of Revchi as if he just teleported. What the... Revchi would try to process the speed. However, Yuna was way too fast and would send a powerful gust of wind of Revchi, sending him back, hitting a wall against his back. Yuna would then turn around to see Asta clapping with a smile on his face. Wow, Yuna, you took out a former magic knight in one shot. And better yet, you didn't even use your grimoire. You really have gotten stronger. Yuna would smile at this, but then noticed something floating behind Asta's back, and it was glowing in an ominous red and black color. Asta, behind you. Asta would look behind him to see a dirty grimoire with a 5-leaf floating towards Asta's hand, towards his hand. Hell yeah! I finally actually got a grimoire. Asta would yell out. Well, now that we have our grimoires, I guess we'll both be able to achieve our goals, Asta would say as both of them gave each other a fist bump. And that's really it for part 1 of What If Asta Had Apocalypse's Powers. I really hope you enjoy. Apologies for not really posting onto this channel. Anyways, this What If was kind of inspired to me by the Prince of What Ifs. He made a What If Deku had Darkseid's powers. And I haven't really seen many Apocalypse What Ifs or Black Clover What Ifs, in general. And I thought, hey, Asta with Apocalypse powers, cool idea. Anyways, I'd like to know what you think of the video. How is the editing and audio? If there's any mistakes I can correct, I'd like to hear them. Anyways, I'm Law, and I'm signing out. Peace.